What's up, everyone? So I guess my microphone. Wow, my eyes look really tired. I just woke up. My microphone hasn't been working that well for my phone, but right now it just seems to be working. So I thought I'd finally make a quick little video and just remind people that an astrology reading, a birth chart reading, can be one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself if you're someone who's into self-improving or self-improvement, who's ready to take the next step in your life and to hear about from a different perspective from someone that's never ever met you before, just based on how the stars were aligned the moment you're born, who's ready to hear what I consider a summary of basically the cosmic hand you were dealt. Like if you're playing, if this life is like a game of cards, the birth chart, from an astrologer standpoint, represents the cards you were dealt. And we're all dealt different hands in games of poker or whatever card game you're talking about, and it's not always the person with the best hand. Sometimes the person with the devil ace will fold to will, will fold really early. I don't know about these card metaphors, but you get the point. And sometimes the person with the two, like the two and the four or something, will somehow win. So it's really, astrology scares a lot of people. A lot of my clients are really apprehensive because they're like, "Oh, you're going to tell me about all the terrible things about myself and blah blah blah," and I'm so scared. I'm such a bad person. But no, the birth chart is solely the it's like the circumstances, like what you have to deal with, you know what what are the biggest issues, what are the biggest challenges, what kind of person are you. We use like the four elements in the 12 zodiac signs, and when they fall, in all the different planets, it's not just the sun. We're using the moon, we're using Mars, Venus, Mercury, the outer planets, Uranus, all this stuff, and they're all dictating different parts of your karma. And by karma I mean the tendencies that you bring into. It's like the person that you become from life, from so many different past lives. Who you become today, the tendencies you have, the things that you do without even thinking, that seem to just be parts of who you are. And some of them are cyclic, and some of them are destructive, and some of them, are really, really hard for you to see from your own perspective. And they take someone like an astrologer, someone like a psychologist, someone like a romantic partner, someone to really mirror that back to you and to show you, like, what the things you need to work on. So aside from that, what you can expect from astrology reading, from me, is to really get a wide perspective. Like, we live our life every day with this very narrow view of reality, of, like, who we are and what we're doing in life. But my goal is to really zoom it all the way out, to really zoom it out and give you a perspective of past, present, future, um, and, like, really, give you this feeling of, okay, like, I have a greater understanding of what makes me me, what makes me me compared to other people, because we live in this society where, with the media and with, just how we develop psychologically, we're sometimes pushed to fit a certain mold. And a lot of times there's, like, the mold that we're pushed to be in, and then there's, like, the real nature that we are. And a lot of people, the astrology can show a lot about the real nature, the real, authentic nature of someone. While, um, yeah, this, like, and it can really be difficult for someone who, for example, is really, really sensitive, even if they're like a male, who's really, really sensitive, but hasn't, like, gotten in touch with those parts of himself because they've received, like, the toxic masculinity things their whole life from, like, parents or their schoolmates, like, be a man, be tough. And these people just abandon their entire, real natures. And astrology can really help you understand that and help you differentiate from other people, differentiate yourself from other people. A lot of people have a lot of shame about, like, oh, I can't be like this, I can't be like that. Well, everyone has a certain karma. Everyone has certain karmic obligations, certain karmic goals. In this life, like, I'm not, maybe last life I was meant to be someone who sat underneath a cave for 90 years and meditated the entire time. But it's clear when you look at my chart in this life that I'm not meant to be that. I'm a Pisces, but I have tons of fire and Aquarius. So, there's a lot of social energy. There's a lot of big need to be in the world. And, there's just so much to astrology. There's a house system. The house system is breaking up the sky into 12. It's like the different parts of the sky, and wherever you look at your birth chart, it's like, looks like a pizza, right? So whenever there's a planet that, say, your sun is in, like, the seventh house, right, which would mean that you were born, like, right as sunset was happening. That's a house that means that, marriage and partnerships, and that means that a big part of your life will be involved with, of your life lesson will be involved in marriages and like with things like marriage and things like close partnerships and close one-on-one relationships. And you can really learn a lot about that. About the moon sign is so important. The moon sign when it comes to like what is important, like where you feel most comfortable. Like I'll tell you, me with a Sagittarius moon, just because I know my chart so well. It's like I'm most Sagittarius is all about exploration, wisdom, traveling, um, and that's what really, I have an emotional need to change where I live, to like explore new cultures, to embed myself fully in new cultures. While someone, I could be a Pisces Sag moon, and there can be someone else that's a Pisces with what's a really different moon than Sag. I guess like a Taurus or a Cancer moon, Pisces Cancer, and that person would likely be really attached to the home. They wouldn't really have that same need to explore and to go out. They would really be more oriented towards family, towards starting a family, towards having a lot of comfort and so on. So that's just a little rant. Obviously, there's so much more. I just saw 11:11 on my clock. Um, there's so much more I could say about what a reading can bring you. Um, and like I said in another post, I've been kind of out of the game a little bit since my school has been starting. I've switched my focus a little bit, but I always love astrology, and I always will continue to do this. And just because I'm not having a post every single day, which is not, I just at a certain point realized there's no way I can keep that going. It was something I was struggling to do once school started, and I realized like the passion for putting out daily content is just not there. But of course, like doing readings is always good. It's something that feels like a break for me in the midst of my crazy life. So yeah, just wanted to leave this video as a reminder of like what an astrology reading can bring. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.